Now, additional increase, we're not going to increase any stats. So, I want to say 23 is attack power, maybe. So this is the brave weapons, so 40, 60, 80, 90. But we're just going to go 10. So this adds 200 strength when you equip it, because it's that awesome. Alright, durability, just straight up 120. Accuracy, we'll make this 80. Range, leave it. Motion type, leave it. Attack, we're going to make this 650. Attack speed, leave it. Normal magic, just make it 0. Base effect and standard start sound effect, I explained that I have no idea what those are, so don't touch those, just make sure they're the same as these guys up here. Hitting sound effect, leave it. Gem location, that's usually pretty good. You want to do 1 or 2 for swords. 2 or 3 can look cool out in the blade, but it honestly depends. Upgrade number, we'll do like 8 and 8. And so this is saying it takes 8th grade talisman in order to upgrade it. And disassembly number, it cannot be disassembled. And we're going to call this LWEA. What slot are we in? 128. So we're going to call this LWEA 128. So this will be in your GM item list. This would be slash item 128 81, I don't know, refined to 9, 100% life 128 100 0, or we could do slotted and no stats. So anyway, the idea is the 128, I just pointed again. 128 is the number that will be used in the item list. So then you will save, and we're going to do list. Because since I'm not going to override mine, we'll do list weapon 2 STB. Alright. Whoops, apparently I don't have permission to do that. Okay, well anyway, so there's that. So now what you're going to do is you're going to load your STL editor. So we'll open S. Alright. Wow, alright. So we're going to do new entry, and we're going to ID 128, and we're going to call the string ID LWEA128, and we're going to call it Pimpin's Sword Colossal Two-Handed Blade, I don't know, with immense power. I don't know. I'd think of something a lot better if I had 30 seconds, but I'm on the clock, so with immense power. And then different languages, just copy the English version in. Most servers are going to be in English anyway, so shouldn't have to worry about it, but unless you're, building a Korean server, that's about it. So, boom. So now, in-game, this item will be listed as Pimpin's Sword and Colossal Two-Handed Sword with immense power. So we'll save. I might as well. Alright, so once it says written 1875 records, because you just did the 1875th, close this. Okay, so one thing I forgot to show you guys is we're going to open the STB editor. I'm going to show you how to change the color of the name. I usually do purple myself, but some of the weaker ones, I'll do blue. So Pimpin' Sword is like insanely powerful, so I would obviously do purple. But there it is. Sorry about that. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys how to do how to change the color of the name. Usually I'll do purple, just like Uniques. I think it looks badass. But for maybe some weaker weapons that aren't pimpin', I would do blue. So we're right below the Brave, and I want to do purple. And I know Brave weapons are purple, so we're going to go over to way over here. Name distinction 21. I'm going to make my name distinction 21. So this means in game it's going to have a purple name. So we'll save. Get rid of that. So now you have a working STB and STL for your new items, and your new items are inside the client. So what you would have to do next is open the ZSC editor, which uses this guy right here. And basically what this does is it tells the game the orientation of the item. So you have to set the shine and reflect and mirror and alpha colors and so on, and the angle at which the axis of the item sticks out of your hand, and all kinds of things. So if you're doing like Katars, you have to play with the rotation a lot. Really difficult, and maybe I'll write another tutorial specifically for that, I believe, about a time. I am. So anyway, now you have your new items, your texture and your 3D model for the Pimpin' Sword are in the client. Your STB is done, and your STL is done. So the last thing we have to do is add the STL and the STB back in. So we'll go back to STB, and then just like I showed you before, again, I'm not going to do it just because I edited all mine and I don't need the new item because it's not a new item. Where is it? There it is. So what you're going to do is you're going to delete both of these. Then you're going to add them back into this folder. So when you add them, they'll be at the bottom of the list. They'll be here, but it doesn't matter. Add them back in. Add the ones that you edited. So the STB and the STL that you just changed, add those two back in, called list weapon STB and list weapon STL. So then you're done. You got your weapon, go in game. You set it in the STB as number 128. So if you use the item code 12881 for weapon, and then 1 is just the number of items, obviously you would only do 1, you should get your Pimpin' Sword. So I hope this was helpful. If you want a detailed guide on the ZSC, I would honestly just go to OS Rose Dev Source and search around there. There are countless tutorials for that kind of thing. I use Cethane and Maxons. It's a beta version, but I like it the best. I think it's the easiest to use. You can go into the client editing questions section and just look for somebody that asked for help on their CSC and see what they said. Or if you can't find anything using the search function, post your own. Hope all goes well. And